Hello, everybody. I'm Jazze Maxie, and I am delighted to be here with the grandmother of Juneteenth, Miss Opal Lee. Thank you so much for taking some time out and doing this interview with me today.
Well, thank you. You know, I'm enjoying it too.
Yeah, so how did you get the nickname, the grandmother of Juneteenth?
Well, I think it was because at 89, I started a walk from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. And I felt like if people noticed a little old lady in tennis shoes walking that 2.5 miles to symbolize that the enslaved didn't know they were free for 2.5 years after the emancipation, that somebody would tell somebody else. And after a while, they must have, because they've dubbed me the grandmother of Juneteenth. Now, you know, I was about 89 then. I'm 95 now. So I think I deserve being the grandmother.
I think so too. And you are a Fort Worth native. I am too. So you make us so proud. Just want to throw that out there. But you were a teacher, a third grade teacher for a very long time.
Yes, I taught third grade so long I was beginning to act like them. So they gave me another position. They called me a visiting teacher, but I didn't teach. It was really social work. I was a homeschool counselor.
Okay.
And if a child needed shoes or clothes or the lights weren't on or a place to live, then that was my responsibility to see that that child was in school.
Well, you may not be teaching physically anymore, but you're still teaching, because a lot of people did not know what Juneteenth was about until your efforts made it a national holiday, which is just so amazing. So for those who did not know what Juneteenth is, tell us what Juneteenth is.
I thought you'd never ask. You see, there was a General Gordon Granger who ended up in Galveston with 7,000 colored troops. And what he had was General Order Number 3 that he read to people. But the folk he wanted to hear it weren't there. And he nailed it to the door of Reedy Chapel, African Methodist Episcopal Church. And when those folk, the enslaved, came in from their work and somebody read that general order to them, we started celebrating, and we've been celebrating ever since.
Yes. So it was the people in the South who did not know they were free.
No, they didn't. And so we've chosen, because that happened on the 19th of June in 1865, we've just sort of said that that's when everybody should celebrate. Now, you need to know that there were slaves with the Indians in the Indian Territory that weren't free till 1866. And the order didn't have a thing to do with slaves whose states weren't in rebellion. So the people who had slaves up around Washington or Maryland or places like that, they were still slaves until they were all freed.
Right. And that's why we're celebrating Juneteenth.
Yes, that particular day, 19th day of June, 1865.
And you have been, I'm telling you, working on this initiative for so long. I've interviewed you a couple times, a couple years, and you're going out there and you're like, sign the petition, sign the petition. And finally it got enough steam. And, you know, this past year, how did it feel to realize your dream that this is happening?
Oh, listen, I'm still on cloud 9. I'm humbled. I really am. And I think about all the people who have been involved. To think we carried 1,500,000 signatures to Congress. And we were prepared to take that many more when we got the call to go to the White House. And I think if 3 million people were on the same page,
That's right.
we could turn this country around. But I dream.
Yeah.
And one of these days, my dream's going to come true.
It is, because Juneteenth is a holiday. That was a dream, too. Yeah. Now, you have this book, and I'm trying to figure out a way how I can take it for myself.
Turn it around. There you go.
This is it, Juneteenth, a children's story, written by Opal Lee, and it is a special edition. But this picture here is just...
That's why it's a special edition.
It's my favorite. And it says, on June 17, 2021, President Joseph Biden signed the Juneteenth Independence Day Act into law and established June 19th of every year a new federal holiday.
Indeed.
And I see you here with Vice President Kamala Harris.
Yes.
There's a president there. How did that feel to be in this moment? It's so surreal.
Oh, really? I don't know how to tell you how I feel. I was humbled by it. I was so surprised. I just don't know how to say I acted or how I felt. A lift, a burden, like something lifted off my back to know that there's freedom for all of us. Mm-hmm. And it's not black people or people from Texas, but freedom for all of us. And if we really, really mean it, we'll do something about the disparities that still exist. Mm-hmm. Because we need freedom from joblessness and freedom from hunger, people who are homeless, and freedom from the health care that we can't get. Some of us can and some of us can't. And freedom to do something about climate change. I'm just so afraid if we don't clean up our act and quit spoiling our land and country, we all go into hell in a handbasket.
I agree.
So, to know that we have freedom, not for a few, but for all of us. Not for blacks, not for Texans, but for everybody.
For everybody.
And so, I keep saying to people, make yourself a committee of one to change somebody's mind. Mm-hmm. And I hope they will. Not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a while. But when it's done, and just think, 1,500,000 of us, and another 1,500,000 of us, 3 million people can turn this country around.
I think so.
So, I dream.
Yeah, well, I want you to keep dreaming, because you just got nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yep.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How does that feel?
Oh, stupendous. I don't know what to say. I'm overwhelmed. And I just hope, as a nominee, I hope I get elected. Because, girl, if I tell you, have you ever seen one of those Santa Claus lists? I got one of those lists of what I can do with that money. Some of the prizes, they give $1 million. And I have spent the money already. I have so many projects that need funding.
Yeah.
And if I don't get the money, I'm saying to all my friends who love me, take your money and do this list. Do these things that need to be done for others. One of the things, there's a mother in Uganda. She's the mother of 44 children by the same husband. Wow. She lost 6. There are 38 of them still living. I want them to have a really, really nice place to live. And so I dream of the containers on the railroad that they fix up for housing. I dream getting several of those over to her already furnished. Yeah. That's one of my dreams. But you ought to, all the others, like I say, the list is so long. I've spent the money every time of it already.
Well, I'm already putting it in the universe. You are going to bring that Nobel Peace Prize right here home to Fort Worth, and I'm going to be back here again talking about it. Can I see it? I'm going to say, can I touch it? And we got to talk about that whole experience because we want to put that in the universe that you're going to get it. Was it Congressman Mark Vesey that nominated you?
He was one.
Okay.
But Texas Wesleyan sent in a notice that they wanted me, and TCU. So there were 3 groups that sent letters to that committee and asked them to give me an opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, you have been doing this initiative for so many years, and with all the uprising of the social injustice and George Floyd and everything just all came together all at once. And I'm so glad it did, because a lot of people were celebrating Juneteenth as their national day of freedom. And you know, we get off of work now. It's a national holiday, and we have you to thank for that. So here in Fort Worth, not only are we going to celebrate it nationally as a holiday, but you have a lot of events on Juneteenth, right?
Oh, we do.
Are you still going to do your walk?
Yes. And I got to get in shape. Yes, I am.
Oh my goodness. And if you don't mind, how many years young are you?
I'm 95, and I'm hitting on 96, because October I'll be 96 years old.
Yes, you said October 7th, right?
Yes. Same
day as my daughter. That's a special day.
All right, all right.
I would tell her she shares a birthday with the night kind. So
tell her we should have a party.
I think so. So you're still going to do a walk at 95?
Yes, I'll still do the walk. I'll be in shape by then, I do believe. I walk at home. Haven't done it, but I need to.
Okay.
I walk at home. I do rounds in the house and down, I call the dungeon. It was the garage. And I do it 10 times. I've done a mile.
Okay.
When I walk through all those rooms and then back again. And I have pebbles. I have to put one down, and then when I make another round, I'm another pebble down, because I'll forget how many I've done.
Okay. So is that the secret to living a long life?
No, honey. I think the secret to living a long life is to look after others. Anytime you are looking after other people who need something, then you forget about what you need. It gets done, yours, but you don't worry about it. We have a food bank, and it was started out of need. I belong to one that caught fire, and there's this huge building behind my house that was up for sale for $1,300,000. And we asked, and they let us leased it to us for $4,000 a month, and I said, where are we going to get it at $4,000? But we paid it for 11 months. Oh, wow. And the month we didn't have it, the people who owned it came to us and said they felt we were doing a good deed, and they gave us that $1.3 million building. It services 500 families a day. It's got 20,000 square feet of freezer space. I'm so proud of it. Oh. So there are people standing in line, and I polled them, and 66 of them said they didn't mind farming. So old Opal went to the Trinity River Authority, and they gave me the use of 13 acres on the river, and we have Opal's farm, and we chose to work with the people in line who had been incarcerated and couldn't find jobs. And we proposed that they learn farming, and when they do, they get certified by one of the schools in the area. Well, we feel right now, if they were certified, they could help people plant in their backyards and on the vacant lots because of the virus. But that is the plan, that Opal's farm will be a teaching farm to show people. We've got a farm manager, as the young people say, he's off the chain.
What you know about that?
Ooh, girl, he gives produce to the food bank and to the WIC program, and then he goes to the farmer's market on Saturday. Oh, I don't know what we do without him. Can't you see me on a tractor? Oh, my gosh.
Well, you know what? That's why you got to win that Nobel Peace Prize. Because, like you said, you have a long list. That money is already spent.
Yes, it is.
And you're just doing so many wonderful things. Now, I do want to talk a little bit more about the Juneteenth events, because I know you have your walk, but you also have the Juneteenth pageant. You have like a health fair and all these other things. So tell us a little bit more about that.
I want people to realize that Juneteenth is just not a festival. There are so many other components. So many other components that Juneteenth does. And of course, we have the Miss Juneteenth pageant, but we start with a breakfast of prayer.
Okay.
And it is beautiful. We have so much to thank the Lord for.
Yeah.
And I don't see starting any other way. But after the breakfast of prayer, there's usually a flag waving, a flag raising.
Okay.
You know. We have what's called Empowering You, where we have booths from people who tell you about health. They tell you about how to get your credit in line. They tell you about how to buy a house. They tell you the schools, the colleges, where you can get scholarships and what schools to go to. They tell you so many things. That's part of our Juneteenth. Then, I've told you the pageant.
Yeah.
Oh, we've had a play about Juneteenth.
The Watch Night with Greg Ellis.
Yes.
Yes.
It was beautiful. The art exhibit, it's wonderful too.
Yeah.
We have artists who come from all over, and the art is juried, and they are given prizes. That the children do their art around the 12 freedoms gained that the enslaved gained. I mean, that art exhibit, I don't know how to describe it. I keep thinking of words that the kids say.
Like off the chain?
Yeah. Oh, there's so many things with Juneteenth. There are young people who get together. They work a whole week. They have clinicians from different ethnic groups. They learn songs from different ethnic groups. And then they have a concert. And they've learned so much from each other in a week. Not all spirituals like black folk like, not all reggae or jazz or whatever, but they learn from each other. And to do that concert, that's fabulous.
Yes. So I know it's a lot of events, and what's the website where they can go to get more information, or if they want to be a sponsor or volunteer?
I think it's www.opalswalktodc.com.
Okay.
That'll lead you to something.
Yes. I'm sure that'll lead them to the information that they need. And I saw you in the movie Juneteenth.
Did you?
Yes.
I did.
I saw you in that movie, so I thought that was great as well. But I just really appreciate the time that you've given me today. We are all so proud of you. I am honored to be in your grace. And, before I let you go, though, I got to have a little fun with you. I saw you walking in your walk, and then I saw you stop and you started dancing a little bit.
Listen,
I was like, hold on.
Let me tell you what that was all about.
You even got there?
It was going so good. And I thought when I stopped that I was going to do a holy dance. And the kids said I was twerking.
Yeah. You're just a little bit.
Oh, well. Whatever.
funny. I love it though. But so if we see you do your praise twerk dance next, I might get there. I might start doing it with you.
Thank you for doing this interview.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
and congratulations on the Nobel Peace Prize nomination.
Thank you.
And don't forget to get the book. Don't forget. It's going to debut. They're going to release it next month in New York.
March.
In
I
March.
mean the 1st of March too. Maybe the 3rd or the 6th, right
Yes.
around that time.
Yes, so please get the book.